Well, hello there. I'm here to share some media response projects with you. So I'm just going to briefly try and say a few words about them as they're played on your screen. So we just had a mask activity followed by a collage, and here is a colonial musket. Moving on to an astrolabe coming out of a social studies project on the age of exploration. And here we have a collection of various banners that sort of respond to various historical eras in U.S. history, Vietnam War, the First Amendment right. Earlier there was a peace sign, and Jane Addams from the movement for reform. This is a colorful and funny political cartoon from the Revolutionary War period. Various mind maps, sort of isolating specific scenes from the novel. Uh, I'm sorry, from the play by William Shakespeare. Again, another example of a mind map. Here we have a timeline coming from the age of exploration. Wonderful artistic work, and a collection of information cards that has a sort of a topic, an illustration, and then text on the side of the image. Okay, a couple of miscellaneous art projects here. Again, another info card on a simple concept, the TP. And these are large-scale buttons on the 18th and 21st Amendment. Your media response project can be a simple illustration, asking students to, sort of respond to the reading and create an illustration. This is some flappers, 1920s project. Again, the idea here is an illustration, followed here with Paul Revere in an original political cartoon. Okay, this is a pastel painting on Abraham Lincoln, collage. That was one of our extension activities, followed by another collage here, and one more to follow. Excuse me. Extra credit. Find me in the collage, and you get 10 extra credit points. Just kidding. Okay, we're going to move on to there. Here's a couple of framed flyers showing that guest speakers came to your classroom. These are masks from a Romeo and Juliet unit. Prior to the Capulet Ball, students wore their masks as they read their parts in the play. Literary magazine collection of essays could be another viable student activity. Here we have literature circle packets on various novels. This is a Jeopardy board on John Steinbeck's The Pearl. Moving on to some more social studies projects. Here we have a gas mask from the World War I. Moving into Soldier's Heart, there's a Union and Confederate caps. A little gas bomb here from World War I. Commemorative plate. And yet another rifle musket, very creative. It's made out of a tree branch. Okay. Again, projects can be simple. This is just a Union flag responding to the literature in A Soldier's Heart. And another look here at the gas mask, and there's a World War I rifle just above that. These were photographed in a display case at our middle school. These were the armored ships of the Civil War, Merrimack and the Monitor. Buffalo skin coming out of the novel, The Sign of the Beaver. Here's a picture book, and here's one of the illustrations in that picture book. Here are the moccasins worn by the Native American Atian and some Native American rattlers, and another buffalo skin with pictoglyphs on it. And on the reverse side, which we cannot see, there is an explanation of what's being said using the pictoglyphs. These are commemorative plates, and they can be used throughout various units, literary or social studies. And it's a great way for students to respond to their reading and to sort of extend that understanding and their knowledge. Okay, another example of an information card. Again, it's an illustration with text on the side, so you're catering to their, their multiple intelligence, combining both writing and artistic interests. Okay, this is a boomerang from a World's Fair country of Australia, another collage. Moving on to a timeline. Again, your projects can be one-dimensional. They need not be three-dimensional. They could be a simple map or an illustration, a jersey. This was a CD we created in the classroom. As you can see the insert here, they are a musical anthology of Guatemalan music. This is an Aztec ceremonial headdress. And I forgot to flip this image, but this is coming out of the Middle Ages. And this is an interesting silkscreen process. Here's a picture of the student talking about identity. These are linoleum sort of strips, if you will. Then we got the image on the linoleum sheet. Then we carved it out. Then we would apply paint on it, and we got this sort of silkscreen process. This is a colonial cube. I also use this in literature class as a biography cube, if you will. A flag of Spain. Moving on to a unit on the novel Ben and Me, the new $100 bill, the recreation of a kite, Benjamin Franklin. Here there's images of both dramatic performances and skits performed in the classroom, and closing with a simple wire twisted to make Ben's bifocals. Political cartoons, a viable media response project, simple illustrations, or even a map can work. This is something on the amendments. We create what's called a Bill of Rights book, think scrapbook if you will. Once you open it up, there's a treatment of each and every amendment, 1 through 27, with an articulation of the amendment and then a sort of the students' comments on their understanding of the amendment. It's a very age-appropriate activity. It requires students to sort of collaborate, cooperate, go through magazines, cut out, glue images, and then try and piece that all together to construct and demonstrate their understanding of the topics. Closing is an interesting board game around the world. I want to take a few moments to sort of go over the media response outline with you. So I just photographed an outline, and if you look closely, you hopefully will be able to see the three parts of your media response paper. The first is a simple synopsis or summary of the novel or film. The second portion is the two developmental stages with an elaboration that are addressed in the novel, either through its plot or through its characters. And finally, the third part are the three activities, or what we call the application. So what are your three activities for your media response, in this case, novel? So here, what I'm sharing with you is a wanted poster that was one of the three activities for the specific novel here, Esperanza Rising. And